Hi. Hello. Thank you for joining the BMM series. Okay, we're getting bummed. That's what I came yeah. BMM'd. So this is bodies, men, and marriage. Lester, did you know that MM stands for what? Yeah, but we put it out loud. It's about bodies, men, and marriage. So what gets you to this call, Nivedita? Let's just start talking about things that we were discussing way before the call started. Like today in the evening, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, what information is that? This,
Yeah. So you're looking at how men get more heartbreaks than women. Men get more
yeah,
diabetes than women.
yeah.
Um, you want to talk about that zygote thing also?
Yes, please, if you could throw some information
I
for
always have
people.
I always have stories or something that I've heard somewhere, and it makes sense when there's a call coming up, or
Yeah,
it's like connecting the dots. So
yes.
in one of my classes, when I was attending a class way back, I think 10 years ago or something, my teacher once said that generally, like, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That whole thing is what it is, because the sperm is always rushing forward,
Yeah.
and the fastest gets caught into the egg, and it disappears into the egg, and they lose their identity there.
Whoa. So you know what? Men are scared to be lost because you know what? We're gonna eat them up. And then they wouldn't be able to find themselves. But they're gonna just graduate into, something else, right?
Yeah, and then there is this whole identity, women post birth suddenly become the mother, and then suddenly all the identities they've refused to be all through their life that come alive, and then everything is talking at the same time, and then there's a tiny baby which needs attention. So that leads to some postpartum depression and stuff, because you suddenly realize, oh, I haven't been with me, or I haven't been there for me. And then there is this whole tiny baby there wanting for me to be there with that baby. So that conflict, well,
So no, what you're saying is when the zygote eats the sperm
yeah,
or the
that
egg
that,
or the
that
egg.
is about taking
Yeah.
care of the other and letting the other flourish and become something. And then there is this whole idea when the X and Y
Uh-huh.
decide whether it's a boy or a girl, and it's just waiting. It's not like deciding, right? I mean, I'm just
So
consider
yeah. So basically, when they both come together, is when they kind of choosing what to become, right? Is
yeah.
the egg?
So
Yeah, X
somewhere
is
we
going
are
to be
already
easy.
traumatized by that choice of becoming a zygote, losing the
Yeah.
identity of the sperm and losing the identity of the egg, and then becoming something else. And how you cannot actually, it's even that marriage, right? Like when you're talking about the space, you don't lose your own identity. There's like, people say that, oh, you complete me, but do we really complete them, or are they contributing to each other to become something else?
Yeah, something else.
That's the question, right? So, and we,
Because yes, because every marriage has a way of creating a new person out of the person who got married. That's why we always blame the other person. You're not the same anymore.
yeah.
I know. You've changed. Your body is also changed. You look fatter than before. Yeah, or whatever that is. Yes, Jigar.
And
Hi Kavita, how are you?
I'm good. What
Hi
question do
Nivedita.
you have?
hi.
मेरे पास तो एक ही सवाल है. मैंने सुबह में एक वीडियो डाला था ग्रुप में यूट्यूब का. एक वो गाना है किस किस को प्यार करूं.
Okay.
मतलब बहुत दुविधा है. मतलब दुनिया में सबके साथ प्यार है, राइट? वो मोनोगैमी वाला प्यार नहीं होगा हमसे.
No, so everywhere you're making it all about monogamy, can you destroy and uncreate it? And
Yes,
then
please.
love. Okay, love has a billion definitions. We were just doing divorceless relationships and we were doing the book read. And what came up was love has 1 billion definitions. And definition by definition alone is a limitation, right? So everywhere you're making love a limitation in your life. That, okay, I can only love this one or that one. And you can't have anyone else because we are a world of 8 billion population and you just still stuck on one. Will you please let that go now? Yes. What
लेकिन
if you could
कविता
have?
सामने वालों की
Yes,
एक्सपेक्टेशन ऐसी होती है ना
please.
कि ये तो मेरा ही है, ये तो मेरा, तो अब क्या करने का.
Okay, so what do you
Right,
love
I want to
about?
have sex with 8 billion people on the planet,
Yeah.
right?
Are you talking
So
about sex or copulation? What is it?
I don't mind both.
And that includes men as well. So you're going to be having copulation with men as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
right?
With
Okay,
man,
cool.
woman, everyone.
So what's stopping you from having that? All your moral ethics, all your moral ethics that you're stuck with, that all your cultural ethnicity and all the laws by which you're abiding by, and that is the reason you don't want to marry, because then you'll be legally bound to not have sex with other women or men. Will you destroy and uncreate it? I can't stop myself from clearing it. But yeah, could you just make some space over there? I can't stop myself from clearing. Okay, fine. Holding myself back because it's a free call. We're not supposed to do some clearings out here. Nothing. Yeah, Jigar is unstoppable and he gets judged endlessly for having engaging with too many women. And then, oh my God, what a slut he is. A male slut. But it doesn't sound that bad, male slut. But if it's a woman, it sounds terrible. Oh my God, she's such a slut. She's sleeping around with so many. But if a man does that, it is not an issue. So could you use that label of being a man to your advantage? So can you allow yourself to use that label of being a man to your advantage? Everywhere you are
Yes, yes,
judging
yes.
yourself.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course,
So
of course.
where are you judging yourself for being popular with women or being charming around women? Where do you hold yourself back, and why should you be holding yourself back?
I
You
don't judge
know,
myself, but this reality, you know this reality, right?
yeah.
Contextual reality, textbook
See,
reality. Get married,
Archana,
have kids.
so with
With how
every
many women I would get? With how many women I will get married and have
okay,
kids?
so you know what, you can, if you really want some answers over here, I think you should do some pact kind of a thing that we'll see how it works. And within, normally in a relationship, within 8 weeks, you get to know it's not working or it's working. You simply, and for women also, that applies. Okay, tell a man that, okay, let's date for 8 weeks, and within 8 weeks you would know that you would want to just part ways, because you wouldn't be able to tolerate each other beyond that. Oh, Erasmus is like, let the whole Olympics begin. Yeah, the whole Olympics. So everywhere you're avoiding the hole, or which hole would you have to put, the ball into so that you can make some runs? Can you not judge that and stop avoiding and defending? Because in a process of avoiding and defending, you're not in a position to have anyone. Yes, Hiroshima.
Hey, so yeah, it's
Hey.
very interesting what you're saying. I usually,
Mhm.
like, as you know, obviously I'm going through a divorce and stuff, and yeah, I've been having quite a bit of fun. But the guy that's showing up at the moment, he like, what can I? It's like they want to control me and they want to make me like theirs, and I'm like, nah, man, I can't be doing that.
And what if it's not about you being theirs? It's about you knowing that you belong to you. Or what if you just don't belong to anyone? You're just yours. You don't have to be with them to prove how much you care for them and how much you love them, because you do. And everywhere we end up using our emotional being to prove how much of a being we are being in a relationship. Can we let that all go? Because that's not ease. We're not searching for ease in our relationships, are we? And if somebody
No,
wants to control you, and are they insecure about losing you? And what are you aware of?
I
What
mean,
are
at
they
first it
aware of?
was fun, and then like on the weekend, he was just like, "Oh, I'll get jealous if you go with another guy," and then I was like, "Easy."
Yeah. So are they jealous?
But
Are they not letting themselves be who they would like to be?
possibly.
Mm-hmm. Because it's about that insecurity that you bring in, because they know that if you can be with one, you can be with 10 others.
Yeah.
And you're willing to have fun, and everywhere fun is made wrong in this reality. So we need to control the way, how much fun can you have, and how much fun are you willing to have? And because the guy is very good, you're going to hold on to him, or he's going to hold on to you. And in that process, you're going to start again chopping off your arms and your legs and everything, as if there are very few people on this earth. By the way, the
Exactly.
sex ratio is really bad. There are more men on the planet than there are women. So you will still find one.
I mean, I enjoy copulation with him. It's a lot of fun. But that's, take that to one side. It's like, you know, it's not, it's just, it's okay.
So Jeevan is saying, I tend to get jealous too, and I would like to change that, right? That is so true. We do end up getting jealous. Do you know what jealous means? That I'm not going to do it, but I'm not going to let you do it either.
Oh.
And everywhere you get stuck with that because they're never going to choose more. And then you have to choose lesser so that you make them feel comfortable about who they be and who you be.
Kavita, I don't know if
Yes.
how many have done a bars class, so you may have to explain the clearing statement part before.
No, that's why I'm not doing the clearing statement. I'm not. I'm just
Okay.
simply, I'm not doing the clearing thing.
We are just talking.
Yeah, because,
Okay.
you know, we have a point of view about disloyalty, okay? This loyalty kind of thing that we're talking about is the concept given to us by the species called humans on this planet. That I will marry and I will marry one person and till death does us apart. Okay, we want to die with the same person over and over again. And then we will bind you or we'll tie you down with oaths and vows for 7 lives, if not 4, because, you know, I'm in a city where there are 4 rounds that you take around the fire. Okay. And some people who take 7. So it depends. So all those oaths, vows that are binding you across lifetimes, that you'll still find out the same person with a different body in a next lifetime, and then you are killing each other. So whose turn is it to kill who? Are you going to be killed or are you going to be killing the other person? So what is loyalty? How many lifetimes have you come onto this planet and what loyalty are you talking about? I'm not saying be disloyal. If it doesn't work for you, don't have to. But what, as per Access also, what we're talking about is marriage is a man-made concept, right? I recently got married, as in 3 years old marriage, but I'm loving every aspect of it and exploring new reality and new possibility with that what else is possible within the term called marriage, right? And I did a series online on marriage, no marriage. You have to see what works for you and when it works for you, how long it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, you stop chopping yourself and killing yourself in a marriage or a relationship where you are going to become so toxic for the planet, either and for yourself. You're going to create illnesses, diseases, pain, suffering, and then that's what is going to get spread on this planet. Would you, okay, you don't want to save the planet, at least save you. You are the planet, right? Archana is saying loyalty means being stuck through thick and thin, highs and lows, ups and downs. Is that the dictionary meaning? If yes, then yes, it makes sense. And that's what we're doing. We're killing ourselves through it. And if you don't wish to stick around, then you will be judged and you will be, you will not like it. This is what the concept is with your partner. Yeah, okay, right. Okay. What if you did not have to buy that? Because that is a definition, and definition by definition alone is a limitation. What if you could be loyal to yourself? What about that? How about that? And what if you didn't have to blame men for being wired differently? They're just differently wired. They're not bad. They're not mean. They're not terrible. They are who they are. They're different. And you are not willing to be different while you are. I mean, you just have to acknowledge you are different too. So, I typed this thing called men, and what I got, there are men everywhere and everything. Movement has men in it. Increment has men in it. Environment has men in it. Element has men in it. Punishment, men in it. When you start typing that, you will be like, oh my
Either the words
God.
have men in it or they're related to
No,
masculine
they're
words.
all words that have men in it. They're everywhere. How do you kind of avoid? How would you avoid them? Empower men is again their empowerment. Okay, there are men everywhere. And largely we have women on this call. Women has men. Yes, I had written that too. So yeah. But
You know something?
No.
सब चीजों में मर्दों का ही हाथ है.
Yeah, so what he just said is that every menstruation, oh my God, yeah. And that is where, like, we start PMSing. Menopause.
Kavita, I
Yes.
just want to share that we did this call, na Marriage No Marriage. I think that was the best call I have ever been in. There are so many, but it was a very amazing call. It cleared all my point of views about marriage. You know, it was like, I just want to say hats off to you. You're like, so it's like such a huge clarity I have about marriage. You know, it's like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for receiving it. Yeah, so basically what we're saying is that what
Can you
Pragya is
have that
saying,
call again? I
yeah,
don't know.
we can. Mentality. Thank you for being so creative with the men thing, right? Now, could you receive from men? Where are we fighting against them? Why are we fighting against ourselves for not having them? While we, how much ease can you have having men in your world and not shoving them away?
And mental wellness.
Mental wellness. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Nivedita, for playing with words. Women has men, but lady doesn't. Yes. And could you be that lady who could receive a man, as Nivedita in the beginning just started off the conversation with how the egg and the sperm goes in it, and then you both come out as something new and different. Could you have that? I mean, yeah, you can't let a man get close. Because do you trust? What part of you are you not willing to trust? You are a woman. Woman. Okay, what part are you not willing to trust? You don't trust Niti. So should it be a trust call? Oh, you don't trust your vagina. Okay, cool. What can we do about it? Everywhere you're still stuck with
I'm
the
joking. It was quite funny.
everywhere you're stuck with the virginity, which is gone long ago, but you're still holding on to it. That okay, the right penis has to get in there. Could you just keep that aside and what is your body asking for? Bodies, men, and marriage. How much of illnesses and sickness are you locking up by avoiding something? By not trusting your knowing. You don't have to trust men, you have to trust your knowing, you have to trust you. It's not about them.
It's not just for women. I think even men don't trust themselves in some cases.
A lot. They don't trust women because women, all the wars have been fought for women, against women, for women, having wealth, women wine. So it's not about just we not trusting them. They don't trust us either.
You mean the Draupadi syndrome?
Yeah, but the heart breaks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pragya.
So you were just saying about, dating somebody for 8 weeks and seeing how and where it goes, whether you can tolerate each other or whatever.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to tolerate, sweetheart. Once again, tolerance is something you're not comfortable with, but you're like, okay, let him do it, but I really don't like it. I'm so frustrated with this guy, because the day you're done with it, you'll explode.
Yeah, right.
We're not talking about tolerance. We're talking about how you can have ease and allowance with the whole thing. Allowance is you're not aligning or agreeing, you're not resisting or reacting to anything. You're just allowing yourself or them to be who they be, allowing yourself to be who you be.
Yeah.
The minute you see that, okay, you're at a juncture where you're chopping your limbs and you're chopping your life, that is not fun for anyone.
Yes.
And marriage in this reality is about containing the wealth, okay, of two families. You come together, it's about money, it's about the lines of family and everything. So that is what is created, so that the money doesn't go out, it stays within. So if it's about marriage, can you stop blaming men? And men stop blaming women, because it's all about a fight and a thing that is going on. What if that is not true? It's about, there's something in Hindi called Kriya Charitra. No. Are you talking about
Kriya Charitra, not Kriya Charitra.
Tirya Charitra? I have been mistrusting, hating, and trying to stay away from men for very, very long. So have you succeeded in staying away from men, or they still come in? Because the minute you're staying away, they will come more towards you. That's what I've seen. And hating them will not solve the issue.
Chandra, good evening, Andy. Our Rondo documents,
Okay, yeah, I get that. Okay. So everything that is right. So I've done that. I'm not saying that I did not have my distrust or mistrust phase with men, but is till I realized that they're not as bad as we think they are.
So Kavita,
You
my
know?
question here was that
Yeah.
so there is a certain pattern that comes over and over again.
Okay.
And I am not sure what question to ask to break that pattern, because I've done a few questions, I've done the numbers and everything.
So what do you love about your pattern, that you being so creative with repeating your patterns, that you can't create a new pattern which could be little kinder and easier and gentler on you? What pattern do you like? Like having a flower here and a flower there. After some time again, one flower comes here and one flower there. Okay, just that the position is changing. Could you just kind of change your pattern with that? Because it's about, what do you love about that pattern? Where
Nothing
is it that
actually. Yet
so can you
it
can
is
you
extremely painful.
yeah, so can you be more creative and innovative in changing that and doing something different? Unless you haven't given yourself enough credit for creating enough crap, obsessive compulsive creators of crap that we become, because we need to create something.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Nivedita.
So Pragya, what is the shape of your pattern?
Oh, I like that.
Shape of the pattern. Interesting question. Okay.
What
I
is the
don't know.
shape of
It's
your
all
pattern?
wired weirdly.
Wired weirdly. Is
Wired
there,
weirdly, same.
okay,
It's
so
slightly
so
twisted.
so does it, is it single wire or is it multiple wires?
Single, entangled.
How do you know?
Looks like that.
So no, but how do you know it's single?
When you say, when you ask this question,
Like if it's a single thing pattern, or like a single thread, like in a jungle,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is
yeah.
it like multiple things grumbled up? What is it? How do
No,
you know? How do you know it's single?
that's what it feels like.
Okay, so have you opened it to see?
No, and it's easy to open when you say that.
Did you open it? Is it one tan, two tans, like how they measure cloth?
Yeah,
How many kilometers or miles is it?
yeah, many.
How many?
53 is the number that comes.
So is it diameters or centimeter? Is it diametric in meters, kilometers, miles?
Meters.
Okay.
Have you wound yourself in that? That you can't unwind the whole thing, because she said wire and weird.
Yeah.
So both the spelling similarly. I mean, just
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they your intestines?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Well, there are substances you can consume to let go if you have constipation, but or hydrate yourself, and
Yeah.
your large intestine is going to be tangled. You don't
Yeah.
want to change the pattern of it. You'll fall sick.
Yeah, or you'll have diarrhea, or you will have constipation,
Yeah.
or you will puke it out.
So,
Because, but that
so-
puking thing is really sad.
yeah. So considering all that, would you like
Yeah.
to keep your pattern?
No.
Would the pattern like to keep you?
Maybe yes. I get a yes.
What does it love about you? What does the pattern love about you that it wants to stay with you?
The word that comes to me is giving.
Huh?
Giving.
The word that comes to me is giving.
Giving. What are you giving?
Just generally, I'm very giving.
Yeah, what are you giving? What's the first thing that you're giving?
Time and attention, I think.
What does time and attention mean to you?
Being there, caring.
What does being there and caring mean to you?
Relationship patterns, Archana. That is what we're talking about.
One second. What does being and caring mean to you?
Being there. What else?
What does being there and caring mean to you? What is the other word for being there and caring?
No, I don't think I get it anymore.
It's blank.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a pattern you just broke. Okay, what is beneath the blank?
Is there space?
What is
There's-
beneath the space?
I'm blank again.
That's the
Another
pattern.
pattern.
That's the pattern you just broke. What's beneath the blank?
Nothing. I mean, I just feel like clueless.
What is beneath clueless?
Lesser clues.
What's beneath clueless?
Somebody's writing love, trust, integrity. Somebody's writing that.
What's beneath clueless?
So I don't have the exact word.
No sentence. Just get it and tell me what's beneath. It doesn't have to make sense. What's beneath clueless? That's your key.
So there's this heavy energy which is sticky that I feel.
Which is
Sticky.
Sticky, heavy energy
where?
beneath clueless.
Okay.
Where in your body?
Yeah.
Upper portion of my body.
Which man are you reminded of?
No one.
No one. Think. Get again. What is a sticky situation that you put yourself into, which reminds you of a man or a woman?
So there is this image, but I don't know this person.
From which lifetime?
Some lifetime.
Which year is it? Which lifetime? Which year is it?
It's weird. The number that's coming is 2057, but it's not even possible.
So
It is.
yeah.
So every future reality that you've been in, and then you're waiting, and you're not being able to pull that person into this reality here and now that you're aware of, that body is aware of.
And you're so basically you're stuck with the idea that you want to change your patterns, but it's not about the patterns at all, isn't it?
Is it not?
You're looking at changing the patterns and focusing on the patterns, but actually it's something else which Kavita is telling right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
are you a futurist? You live in the future, that something, everything will be fine then. I know it is there, but not in the now. Could you allow yourself, could you allow your body to pull that energy into the now and have that man right now? How many women are there who would like to have those kind of men who they are aware of and would like to spend their life with, or probably enjoy? May not be marriage. Everywhere you've given marriage so much of significance. Could you just receive from men by pushing your barriers down? Because we just find it so difficult receiving from a man. We can do it ourselves. Definitely we can. So can men. But could you allow yourself to give that space to yourself for receiving from them? And receiving doesn't mean to suffer or that you have to give it back to them. It's not a give and take reality we're talking about.
Yes.
So yeah. And what if you did not require that pattern to keep hurting yourself or pain, and then they go through pain? Which spoken, Nivedita, we had spoken about breakups, right?
yeah, the
so
heartbreak syndrome is a thing.
Heartbreak syndrome is a thing. And which body process, you asked me which process would work, and I've worked on so many broken hearts. And they somehow have found their solace in with somebody after those processes. Facelift is one, zero sum of trauma is included in facelift, and a couple of them which really work on the body, because there, if it's a physical heart, you feel that pain in your body, right? How much pain is a relationship giving you, and you blame it on men, and then that shows up in your body as pain. What will it take for you to receive from men? That's exactly what the question is. What will it take? Who is talking? Can you just mute somebody who is talking? Right? Yeah, everything that is. So yeah. And how many heartbreaks would you require to really find the person who will be true, kind, and caring? and start looking for faults and wrongness in them. Yes, because that's how we've been trained. Because men are always bad, and that's exactly what they're doing. Do you really like men? See, if it'll be very difficult to even have sex with a man, because if you have too many judgments about him, or if they have too many judgments against women, they will have to really fight their judgments in order to rise above those judgments and then to have sex. And we know what it is to be like in a sexless space, even when you say that you're married but you're not getting enough sex. And it becomes difficult and more difficult and more difficult because there's so many walls of judgment and you stop having sex. Yeah. So cool. So how about changing that? Because how about being kind to your bodies and stop mimicking that? About creating a reality that you haven't really had as a way of engaging with people and having ease with your marriages or your relationships, including you. How about having a marriage that includes you and not take you out of it? And it's not only about having everyone, seeing everyone happy. How about you could add yourself in that picture as well? Yes, Jigar.
Kavita, I have a question. So
Yes, please.
basically, you got married twice, right? So once you got married by the contextual reality.
Yes, very much.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Now, after coming to Access, after doing so many classes, after doing the body classes and so many classes, you got married twice, right? The second time. So what is the difference? Please tell us. What difference is?
Massive difference is that the first time I got married was out of fear that I don't want to be left alone. And somebody said that, if you don't get married, then you won't get married. So you better get married. So I got married. And it did make sense because I was trying to live that marriage and there was no fun, there was no joy, there was only the suffering, abuse and hatred towards each other, hating myself for chopping myself so much, accommodating the other person and everything. And then came Access after quite some time, of course, where all that trauma, pain, everything that came up. And I realized I'm not wrong because I was trying to do marriage as per this reality. There came all the tools of Access, and I'm like, wow, you could have a different reality with marriage. Marriage could be fun too. It's how you're going to create it. It's not the responsibility of the other person only to to deliver a happy life. What if your happiness was not their responsibility? What if you could take responsibility of your happiness? It's not about them, it's about you. And then two people coming together and co-creating a life which is going to be so much fun. And what if fights could be fun too? What if you did not have to judge? What if you could just push your barriers down, use all the tools of Access, and then, okay, what's required in this moment? How can I change this? What else is truly possible? Okay, I don't feel like talking to you for a day. Okay, fine. And you realize in under 10 seconds, you can't even stop talking. So, I mean, could you be an allowance of yourself? That is what I'm talking about, that how it changed everything. And what if you could be an allowance of you losing it all in one go? It's not about holding on, it's about knowing when to let go. It's having that ease in a relationship that, yeah, I'm there till I'm there until we are having fun, or just create more space and then come together and see, is it working for you or not? And
I have one more question.
I didn't break his heart, but he got a heart attack. And then I healed him again. Like, no, you can't go so soon, So yeah, doing everything, whatever it takes. Because how I look at a heart attack, he probably didn't have space for me. So he had to be, those tents had to be put so that some space gets created in his heart. Now I have some space there. I'm just
So मैंने Access में सिर्फ शादियां टूटते देखा है. Trust me on this one. You are the person I have seen who has got married, and it's like you are breaking all the stereotypes once again, right? I have seen men stopping their women for going to Access classes मत जा, ये सब ब्रेन वॉश है, ये है and all that. शादी टूट जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा, समाज में क्या बोलेंगे. And I have seen women, they suppress themselves from going to access classes, but you are a whole different level, Kavita. You are like, you are driving people crazy everywhere.
Yeah, but see, that's exactly what I'm saying. What if that's just an interesting point of view. Access, no one has happy marriage. Interesting point of view. Really? How much of lies are you carrying? They probably come to access, be it a man or a woman, they come to access and they get the courage to be who they be. And now the apple cart is shifting. What if that shift in flux did not have to be that devastating for either of the two people? It's not access is breaking marriages. It's about you claiming your space and being you. But the way you're doing it is very, very drastic, and that gets very heavy on both the parties. And that's why they say that, okay, people are saying that, oh, because of access, your marriages are breaking. No, that's not. I wouldn't blame access for that. I feel access helps you. Yes, absolutely, Gurpreet. I feel access really helps you to create better relationships. And
You got to teach us. You got to
first
teach
one
us how
is
you
with
do it.
yourself. The first one is with yourself and your body.
And your body.
And what information are you getting from your body, and how can you be the kindness you be at least to yourself? When you being the kindness towards you, you can be that with the other person as well. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I am
Okay.
very eager to know, when is your next body class?
Oh yes, we are coming up with one in Hyderabad where Nivedita is hosting us, and that is 31st, 1st, 2nd February. 31st Jan, I meant. Yeah. And the other one is in Ahmedabad, 10th, 11th, 12th February. And the other one is going to be 25th, 26th, 27th February in Delhi. We're going to be having fantastic body stuff coming up and dissipating the charges that you have. There's this one person who came and like, okay, how do I feel good with the existing husband that I have? And that's where I say, can you be kind to each other and do a lot of body processes and stuff and work on each other, receive from each other? Could you be that little, like little kids where you were playing with each other, playing with each other's bodies? That playfulness is missing. That's what I see. What if you could allow yourself to be that playful like a child? That, okay, you're going to be slapping each other, you're going to be fighting with each other. Next moment, you're going to be really playing with each other. Where is all that gone? So
I asked you a question once, if you remember,
Yes.
How old do you feel you are in this marriage?
How old? I just don't feel I'm married. I still have, because I keep telling him that, I want a good marriage. I yet don't feel like I'm married to you. I feel like he's still there as a friend. So Nivedita will tell you more about how do we create this, the relationship part of it, the thing that we're talking about. Do you really think access breaks down marriages?
I don't know. It's in your hands. Actually, it's your choice.
No, access doesn't. No way.
See, it's not. See, I wouldn't go there. This looks like one gossip right now that we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about breaking down somebody's marriage or myth of being together. It's not about that. Saying separating people. No, nobody can separate you. If there was not enough space, if you were really together, nothing can separate you. Nobody can walk in. But if there is some space already, then there is somebody who can just walk in. That's how I look at it.
I'd like to say something here.
Yeah.
This is like a year after my marriage and kid was born and stuff like that. And I was feeling like I wasn't myself, or, the person is not giving me attention and stuff like that. So when I went to, if Shobha is here, like she's my therapist. She was my therapist. So when I went to her and she said, what if, he's not the problem? What if you had to look at yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, how dare you say that, he's not the reason, I mean, of course, he's causing me this angst. So how can he not be the reason?
Yeah.
Then she says, no, your belief system or your point of view is what is creating that. So I was like, what the hell, it's like, how can my point of view create? I mean, I came to you for helping me and you're taking his side. So
Yeah.
it is not about taking his side. And then I heard this again from another friend. She's like, whatever you're thinking, even the karma theory that she gave, she's like, it's yours. Like, what are you unwilling to see? So although I didn't like it, it was uncomfortable. It is like, I want to murder you for telling me that I am wrong, Again,
Yeah.
I went into the wrongness of it instead of looking at, okay, what is really going on here? So I said, okay, stop. I don't like to do it. I am not going to do it. But still, because you said it, I will try looking at what is my point of view.
Yeah.
And it took me a year or two to really get that, yes, there is this baggage, or this that I've picked up. And this is my actual core issue. And this is what I need to be looking at instead of just blaming that person. So if I'm saying, hey, you got to make me happy, I'm actually putting myself in a child's position and saying, you got to be my parent.
Yeah.
The person didn't marry you to be your parent. The person married you to be a partner.
Yeah.
Right. But the most of the expectation of partners is that, oh,
you're going to be my dad or you're going to be my mom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so if we go there, then it's actually we who has to take responsibility for our choice of how we are being, how we are contributing. What is my part in this in this whole scenario?
Nobody wants to be a lover. They just want a partner who can take care of them. Really,
Correct.
Lovers are just lovers. You could be just having, like, you could be coochie cooing and have so much fun just doing that. And if they're not up for it, how can you invite them to that possibility? Is the whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you for sharing that, Nivedita. So it's about, acknowledging who you are, what are your capacities, and how you can really be the dominatrix in your relationships.
Yeah, and at one point it comes to that, that the anger that you are feeling is not yours. It is actually their anger and they are projecting, and you pick it up as your own and you start acting, then you realize, that, oh, okay, I'm now aware that it's not mine, and I keep quiet. And then now he has to be upset or angry and then express it. Then I realized what Shobha was saying at that time, that if I'm being myself and I know this is my space, this is my energy, I'm very well versed with who I am, then I will find out what is not mine.
Yeah, so we don't want to find out who we are, and we want to blame the other person because of you that I am not. How does that work?
And so marriage is a playground where you can actually discover yourself for who you truly be, is my take on things right now. I'm not saying you should not divorce. I'm not saying you cannot go your separate ways. I'm just saying play hard to get yourself as much as you can. And then even after the whole thing, if you're not getting yourself, then going separate ways is the thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the goal in this scenario can be as much as, if you're having an issue and you think you want to really, shout on the other person, it's most because you are having that issue, something going on with you, and what can you do and your body do to have more ease.
What helped you discover your point of view, which caused the issues? What was your point? No, somebody's asking.
Oh, so mine was that, you will never be, you're never enough, and you will never be taken care of, and you're too much.
Yeah.
And humanoids handle.
But humanoids are too much. We are too much. Yeah, we are too much. Could you acknowledge that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to say something.
And one more thing was that I'm very expensive, by the way.
First of all, I just want to say something, that you said I am too much, you will never be taken care of, right? And I am very expensive. And Gary says your wrongness is your strongness, right? Fuck, you just need to acknowledge I am too much. I'm just this too much person, and nobody can take care of me, so I will be the one taking care of.
Correct. So I didn't know this way back in 2013.
Yeah, that time
I know
there was no
now.
access. There was no
now
access
you know.
then. Now we know.
Now you know. Now you know.
Are we willing to use the tools and change or create something new and different and upgrade our lives?
So
I think this is what access does, right?
So
we make you aware of what you know.
No, so I don't think it's access or not access. It's about discovering yourself using whatever you have. It doesn't.
Whatever tools. It is not about access, because Nivedita also does family constellation. That also works. And then how you club it. Of course, definitely the tools of access are fantastic. They're amazing. But there are whatever gives you relief. I mean, how even somebody is writing breakup relieves their anxiety. Yeah, okay, fine, go ahead.
But the
do that.
Bottom line is, the point of view or your belief system, or whatever you're believing is true, which is not true.
Which is what we call, access consciousness tools. Very simple.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to share. There is this beautiful girl. Her name is Bhamna. I wonder if she's on the call. I can't see her today.
No, she's
But
not there.
when she came to Access, she did bars and she was like, "Meri shaadi tootne wali hai. Meri shaadi tootne wali hai. Meri shaadi tootne wali hai." And then she did foundation. And the girl, the marriage
Even
has
bars
improved so
contributed
much.
in saving her marriage. Not she didn't
Yes,
save her
a
marriage.
lot.
She
A lot.
created something different in her marriage. So it's about she doing bars, dedicatedly doing bars, and that changed her relationship to another degree.
उसका
Everything
husband जो
just
बोलता
turned
नहीं था, अभी
around.
बातें करता है उसके साथ. They both have bought a safari, and the girl is just amazing.
They're happy
She's,
and
yes,
they're creating.
yes.
Yeah, she's creating in a very different way.
And उसका सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये लाइफ में कि मैं कुछ नहीं करती तो भी मुझे सब कुछ मिलता है. I would like to have that problem.
So,
Any other questions?
any other question?
Hyderabad. So I'm just curious. I have a question. Hyderabad class है. उसके बाद कब है class? Body class बताओ. At
10th,
least I
11th,
think
12th.
I would do at least 2 classes with you for sure.
Ahmedabad, 10th, 11th,
Yay.
12th. We have a
Yay.
body class coming up. And then we have one coming up in Delhi. So far, the calendar is only till there.
When is it Delhi?
Delhi, 25th, 26th, 27th February. We've just shifted because of some date stuff.
But those dates are the same for the Goa, no?
We're changing the Goa thing now. I'll be calling you. Goa Foundation will be getting placed elsewhere. I'll be talking about it. But right now, we're focusing on the body class because Simone is coming in March 18th to 20th March for advanced body class. So how about advancing your bodies to that
You'll be
class?
doing that
Actually,
class with
Yes, I
Simone?
will be. Yes, I will be.
Kavita, what just occurred to me was maybe the dates that you're having for your classes, and you were like recently you're talking that how the dates are changing, right?
Yeah, so much changing.
Somebody else putting the class in the same dates, right? Suddenly it's just occurred to me how much yumminess of energy got created in that time and space that people are creating in that moment. And then
that moment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean.
Nivedita, Arjuna is asking, was there a process that you ran for the relationship pattern? But we just broke the pattern, right?
No, I asked a lot of questions. It's like, okay, is it, I mean, see, way back then, honestly speaking, I was not doing access at that point. It's 2018. Initially, I did a lot of radical forgiveness and family constellations and stuff like that. And I always thought something is wrong. I have to fix it.
No, something wrong with you.
Yeah, something wrong with me or something wrong with something, and that needs fixing. That fixing was the whole thing. I think somewhere in between 2017 to 19, somewhere it just shifted into that idea that, okay, what if I keep asking questions and taking responsibility for what's mine? And at one point I realized this is not mine. And that was the who does it belong to tool. I give credit to that one.
Right. And how often are we willing to dive within our own spaces and see whether it's not about right or wrong, it's about, what is it? Can we take ownership of what we are creating?
Yeah.
Nobody likes to take the ownership.
This is what I told, like the patterns of our parents is what we're creating in our relationship. So BMM is something I ran for almost 2.5 years now. 2018, 19 is when I did my first foundation. Count 2019, March till now. I've been doing BMM every single day on myself. And sometimes I exchange it with another person.
Yeah. So how many relationships and marriages are you creating based on what you've learned from your parents?
Yeah. So
when to be annoyed, when to be happy, and what makes them happy that makes you happy or unhappy, all your patterns that you picked up from your parents.
Yeah.
And if you say that your parents were very happy, what lies were they projecting that you bought into? Whatever that is. I mean,
yeah. And if I had it my way, I would put a massage table in Juhu Chowpatty and do a BMM for everyone.
Yeah, stop mimicking. You can start creating something completely different.
Yeah.
So BMM typically is for those people who are not from Access, biomimetic mimicry, right? So where are you mimicking people and creating your relationships or marriages? And if the world is not having good marriages, where is it that you've decided that you can't have it too? Because you want to fit in and make others feel comfortable that mine is all as fucked up as yours. So yeah, they're so similar.
So I just wanted to calculate and tell you how many BMMs I've run. It's like 4 years into 365 days. It's just like 1460, close to 1500 times.
And they say that if, once you've done it 200 to 300 times, you'll have a lot of peace, freedom. You will be part of you, what you're designed for. So yeah, amazing. That's so much of a contribution, Nivedita.
I think
Yes,
every process the body class has, you know,
and now the manual is also
अलग से नहीं कह रहा,
changed, so we have some new processes of advanced body class.
But every process is very beautiful. हाँ,
It is.
Every process, आप 90% brain capacity कर लो, या तो फिर acoustical vibration वाली कोई भी process कर लो, hormonal process कर लो. Every process is like, you know, मतलब ऐसा लगेगा आपको कि, you know, कि you are running bars. It's every process is like equivalent to bars, you know. आपने, it's just like, it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
So Nivedita, someone is asking you, what if I know the pattern and I wish to break it, but then there is so much emptiness and hollowness when there is no relationship, no one around. Oh my God.
Can you just talk, like whoever it is asking that question? Can you just talk?
Can you open up? Can you talk? Hey, instead of writing, can you just talk?
Today's my question is, how can I help? Yes, don't type, please talk.
Don't type, come out and just talk.
Hindi बोल सकती हूँ, टूटी फूटी उर्दू भी बोल सकती हूँ.
Oh, we can talk
Yeah,
after 10
we
minutes.
can talk
Then we
after
talk
10.
after the call. Yeah, it's better to talk after the call then if she's traveling. Okay. So yeah, I mean, see, my point is, you have decided it's better to be in a relationship than to be, you know, better to be in a bad relationship than to have no relationship.
Kavita,
If you could,
do you want to talk about comfortable distance?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have comfortable distance with us, because what does a relationship mean? That you have to be able to relate to each other, which means you need to separate. Okay, the distance between two objects is a relationship, right? And when something comes so close, then you end up, you know, messing yourself up or losing yourself in it. And so you would rather have a comfortable distance from which you can see the other person. It's easier on you. And you know, those 5 levels of intimacy that we have, which is honor, trust, gratitude, vulnerability, and allowance, you kind of tend to lose it when you come too close to each other. You don't know then what to do and how to do, you know, have all of those while being so close to somebody. So somebody who has to come close, and then you have to push them away because you don't want them that close. And then you end up saying, I'm so lonely. Even while that person is around you, you can still be lonely or empty. So is it this person's responsibility or duty to fulfill that? Answer is no. What is it that you're unwilling or avoiding or defending in your space to have that comfortable distance in your relationships? You can add to this, Nivedita. Yes, Nivedita. I think I tried explaining it with my hands.
Yeah, what is the opposite of comfortable distance, I wonder?
Opposite of comfortable distance is uncomfortable closeness. Being uncomfortably close to each other, which is like, oh my God, you know, there's no difference. And that could be oneness, that could be communion that we talk about. But communion can only be with yourself. Relationship is what we create with the other person. But if you are one with yourself, you will have no barriers or walls with the other person, and you will allow them to just be, because you have no judgments and no points of view or conclusions about yourself. You wouldn't have it for the other person as well. Yes, what do you say?
How old are you being whenever something is going on? I would ask myself, how old am I being when this is occurring? if I get a number which is younger than my age,
Mm.
then I will see what is the conflict I'm having with that
Age.
age.
At that or around that age.
At that aging toaster.
Yeah. And
And-
or what if it could be a walk-in too, and you could clear those
Yeah.
walk-ins or original occupants. At what age am I being? You could just ask them, or kind of have ease with them, or have peace with them, or negotiate with them what's going on,
Yeah.
rather than judging yourself and killing yourself in a relationship or a marriage. So yeah, beautiful. That's what BMM does. And bodies, men in marriage, men do not wish to be tied down in a marriage, but then they have to, and then they have to live up to it. And then when they kind of drift away, is because somewhere we know how to kind of only judge them and only throw judgments. Then they drift away. Then there is no sex happening anyway. But at the same time, you have a problem with them, and they have to have a problem with you, because our parents did. They had a problem with each other, so we have a problem with each other. So what if you could just BMM that, And what have you defined marriage is that it isn't? What if you could just play with that concept of what is given to you, that you are supposed to be doing this in a marriage, versus what would you like to create your marriage as? And if you're marrying because you don't want to be lonely, I mean, that's the
Yeah, so
thing you could do.
the intention with which you get into a marriage is what will end up happening.
Yeah.
It's like, if I don't want to be lonely, and if you get
No.
into a marriage, you will end up being lonely. I don't want to not have money, and hence I'm marrying for money, then
that's going to go.
That's going to happen. So instead of, I know who I am in my life, and let that person know whoever they are in life, I'm willing to share my life with each other.
Yeah.
And then that can be, I wanted to also talk about the partnership, like we talked about Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
One of the reels or something that I saw where Michelle Obama was asked a question, what is the partnership that you have? So she says, look, she had to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
And she had sometimes 20-80 partnership with President Obama. Sometimes it was 30-70. And she says, yes, as women, we tend to sacrifice that and make home and hearth the most. Whether you're a homemaker, or whether you're working somewhere, whether you're a president's wife, you still are the leader in that unit. And being that leader, what is the maximum partnership you're taking? So the maximum partnership is taking is the maximum wealth you get.
Wow, that works for me. I take the leadership and the ownership of everything.
And everywhere we would like to work 70% and not be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And give the leadership to the, project
30%,
that 70% leader. I only want to do 30%, let the person do 70%, but actually you're doing 70%. That's the amount of remuneration you're not receiving. You're doing all the work and giving it somewhere else, and then wondering why the wealth is not occurring. And
getting created. Yeah.
This is just flowing right now. I mean, this things are happening right now.
So no, I mean, for me, the wealth is definitely getting created, and I've taken the 70. No, I've taken 80, if not 100% of the whole thing.
And sometimes they're only sleeping partners,
Yeah.
So
can you just enjoy your sleeping with them? That's fun.
Just sleep with them and do the work and be happy. It's like,
yeah, and get it all, because you can be the 100% partner with yourself. And
I have a question to ask. How many of you believe as a gali, it's like you are a bloody sperm donor. That's it. You don't have any responsibility, but that is a huge contribution to creating a baby, right? Like, it's not just a sperm, right? It's 1 second.
It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, what if the person was not able to create even sperm?
18 million or something get released at once, but apparently
80 million. Now we have the statistics there. Wow. And only one can make it, sometimes two.
But there's another reel I can talk about. It says, God made men. It's just a joke, okay?
Yeah.
So many chances you're given, and one turns out into something. But you have only one egg, and it's always ready.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
that was a joke.
I'm into memes and the memes come out. So, and I don't take credit for this. Somebody made this in the internet and I watched it. So,
Yeah, and you remembered it. I don't even remember it. So it's okay. Yeah, keep BMMing, you know. Thank you so much for being on this call.
Archana, are you there to talk or are you going to take some more time?
Talk later. I'll give you the number. I'll give her the number. She'll call you.
Okay.
So thank you so much for being on this call. And sometimes let's see each other in person, whenever that be. And wherever you would like me to be, you could let me know, and we could create something there. Yes.
One last question.
Yes.
Me too. So 2 last questions.
Okay, so
Okay.
can I ask a feedback as in, okay, we spoke about the topic and we spoke a lot. How much of it actually contributed? Did it make sense? Or we could have spoken about something else?
Yeah.
You can take.
Also, Kavita, I would like to ask. So for
Yes.
those who have done body process, body class, I would like to know what is your favorite body process, you know?
Anybody.
Please write it in the group. Everybody has done a body class. Please let us know what is your favorite body process. I would really like to.
Yes. Even I would like to know.
MTVS is for the whole body.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Please write it in the group. Please write it in the
Right.
group.
Right.
I'll
It
also
does
write
take
mine.
more than 1.5 hours for the complete body, but it's like
Legend. Okay. Demon is saying Legend of El Dorado.
KGF.
What else? KGF. Yeah. Thank you.
that.
Thank you so much, Kavita.
Thank you so much. Discuss more on
What's
raising
that?
children. Somebody's saying, Archana is saying, can we discuss more on the raising the children part? Who contributes what? Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one to talk on. Definitely. We'll keep a note of this. Thank you so much, Archana. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm stopping the recording.